A strong personal brand is no longer optional for executives who want to stand out in a competitive market. Visible thought leadership often leads to higher-level roles, premium clients, and long-term career growth. In this episode, we break down how our featured CEO transformed his expertise into a recognizable industry presence that consistently attracted new opportunities. You'll see the specific steps he used, from developing clear content pillars to refining his media outreach, and learn how to track the ROI of your branding efforts through metrics like media mentions and inbound opportunities. But before any transformation can happen, it's important to understand the risks of remaining invisible. If you're new here, please subscribe and like, because I share tips to help you improve your career. The invisible CEO dilemma is more common than you might think. Take the example of a CEO leading a $50 million company with solid financials and a loyal customer base. Despite these achievements, industry conferences rarely extended speaking invitations. Inside the company, his leadership was respected, but beyond those walls, he was largely unknown. This disconnect highlights a fundamental point. Personal branding is less about self-promotion and more about ensuring your expertise is seen by the right people. Increasingly, leaders are discovered through online searches long before formal introductions or interviews take place. When executives lack a visible digital footprint, they risk missing out on opportunities before conversations even start. In one case, an experienced candidate was passed over for a board seat because decision-makers found no public commentary to evaluate his perspective on industry challenges. The numbers support this reality. Executives who actively engage on LinkedIn, posting regularly and interacting with others, receive 5 times more inbound opportunities than those who remain passive. These aren't just casual connections. They translate into speaking invitations, offers for board positions, and requests for strategic partnerships. For our CEO, the turning point came when he realized his company's valuation was being held back not by business fundamentals, but by his own low profile in the industry. Busy leaders often assume that operational results will speak for themselves. However, in today's environment, decision-makers look for thought leadership and public insights to validate expertise. We've seen peers with lower revenue secure high-profile speaking slots simply by sharing their perspectives online. Public commentary doesn't just showcase knowledge. It creates reference points that others use to assess your leadership. Influence grows when your ideas are visible. Our CEO's realization came when he noticed that peers with smaller companies were consistently featured in industry reports and invited to panel discussions, while his own achievements remained overlooked. Recognizing this gap was the catalyst for a new approach, one that focused on building strategic visibility in a systematic way. If you're finding this helpful, please subscribe and like, because it helps us create content that matters to you. Also, if you want to take your skills further, check out our executive education and executive coaching programs at execbeat.com. Many executives struggle with personal branding because most advice is either too vague or too time-consuming to implement. To overcome this, the CEO used a focused 90-day plan that approached visibility with the same discipline as a product launch. Instead of relying on generic ideas about thought leadership, he built a system around consistent publishing and targeted outreach, always tying his efforts to clear, measurable goals. Early efforts fell flat. A broad business newsletter failed to generate engagement, and cold outreach to journalists produced little response. These setbacks highlighted a key lesson. Simply creating content isn't enough. Systematic distribution and intentional audience targeting are essential. The CEO shifted to a disciplined cadence, sharing regular industry insights on platforms like LinkedIn, initiating purposeful conversations with influential executives, and seeking out opportunities for media features each quarter. One effective tactic was repurposing internal presentations. By transforming board materials into public-facing slide decks, he was able to showcase his expertise without revealing sensitive data. This approach led to invitations to speak at industry events and demonstrated how existing resources can be leveraged for greater visibility. Rather than starting from scratch, he made his proprietary insights accessible to a wider audience, which quickly expanded his reach. Measurement played a central role in this process. The CEO tracked media mentions and monitored how often his name appeared in industry discussions compared to key competitors. This data-driven approach allowed him to set benchmarks and adjust his strategy based on real outcomes, not assumptions. Each quarter became an opportunity to test new tactics, review results, and refine the plan for even greater impact. Short, focused visibility campaigns tied to specific metrics delivered rapid results. Executives who adopted this system reported more speaking invitations and faster recognition for promotions. The key was integrating visibility building into routine executive activities, turning everyday communications into public assets while maintaining strategic intent. A disciplined approach to personal branding, one that treats reputation as an asset to be measured and managed, can transform how leaders are perceived in their industries. With the right framework, visibility becomes a strategic advantage, not just a byproduct of success. Today, your professional reputation is shaped as much online as it is in person. Leaders who excel treat their personal brand with deliberate care, ensuring that their expertise is both visible and accessible. A practical first step is to search your own name online and identify one area where your visibility could be improved. In the attention-driven economy, knowledge that remains hidden has limited value. As leaders know, attention amplifies your value. When decision-makers find your expertise easily, you gain an edge. Will decision-makers find your insights online or see an empty search result? Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like, because it helps us bring you more free videos. And if you're ready to grow your career, visit execbeat.com to learn about our executive education and coaching.